Hi. Good evening. I haven't streamed in a long time on YouTube like this, so just checking that you can hear me. Hi, Alice. I'm also not in like the best. I keep forgetting that my camera's not here. It's here. I'm not in the best like presentable attire. I'm just in my comfy wear, so I can just get a little bit of drawing done. And I had who said that? I made a Korean spicy sauce for dinner, and I spilled a little bit on my white jumper. A lot of it. So that's fun. Right, let's put this down. Do I want this up? No, it's very distracting. Let's send to the reference photo. So this is a commission that I've got. Hi David, how you doing? So this is how far I've got. Not very far. So I need to get it's a double portrait as well, so the other one's just sitting here. Hi Irene. The other one's sitting there. I haven't even started that one. I've literally done this much, so I really need to get a good crack on this week, and I need to get it finished. This isn't my current project jar. I don't want to take from I've got my different jars. This is my current project for the fish, so I don't really want to take from that jar of the pencils if I don't need to. The reference photo, she's got some, he or she, I'm not entirely sure. They've got some dark eyes, like these dark patches here, and then the muzzle and then up through the forehead is like a really light grey with a little spattering of brown. So I'm not sure. I think I'm going to try and concentrate on that. The nose is going to be one of the easier things to do. It's going to be the ears that are going to take some time, so I'm thinking I'll do the ears tomorrow daytime when I'm more refreshed and have like a long stint ahead of me, because I don't want to start the ears and then stop because I got tired and then have to pick it up. I'd rather do them all in one sitting, if that makes sense. Anyway, if you have any questions or anything you want to chat about, feel free to chuck it in the comments. It has been a very long while since I have streamed here on YouTube. Let me turn it to live chat rather than top chat as well. For anybody that is interested in learning how to draw or my process, I've left a pinned link in the comment section for my Patreon in case you want to go and check that out. I've just finished today the koala tutorial that I started in October. So I've just finished it today. So I'll be uploading the first two parts are on Patreon because it was a live stream that I did with my patrons. The remaining two parts will be added this week. So that's something to look forward to. I need to add in these whiskers as well, so I need an embossing tool. Wherever it's gone. I don't know where it's gone. I don't think I've used it. Oh, there it is. I haven't used an embossing tool for a long time. Let me show you these little whiskers. You might not be able to see the embossed lines too much. So I'm just erasing the graphite that I've got there a little bit, because I don't want the graphite to be indented into the paper. You could probably just about see that. Just a few little hairs on the old snoot. Thank you. I use the Fabriano Artistico hot pressed watercolour paper. It's the 140-pound weight, which is the 300 GSM. If you are struggling with paper, I would always recommend for people to try out different types of paper, because what works for me in terms of paper may not work for you in the way that you layer. You may be a little bit more heavier handed and need like a slightly thicker paper, because thicker paper can take heavier layers and more layers. So have a look at getting some small packs of paper so that you can have a little play around if you're unsure. Also, I apologise if the stream does cut out. I have been having some trouble with the internet lately, especially in the evenings, so apologies if that does happen. Let me know if it does for you. So there's... need to finish filling in this like chocolate eye on this side, because this side's pretty much done, but I want to get all of this dark fur in so that I can judge the values for the lighter fur a little bit easier. What colour pencils do you use to make a brown coat? I usually put down a base of... I was just using ivory then. It depends on what kind of undertones your brown has got. I've got a brown here that's got some cooler undertones, in which case I'd use a warm grey one first. But if you've got a little bit more of like a peachy undertone that's maybe a little bit warmer, I would use an ivory. So I've got a little bit of a mixture here, so I'm using a combination of them both as a base colour. Then I'm actually going to use some light flesh, but it's not called that anymore. I don't know what it's called. I also need a pencil extender. Actually, there's a really lovely pencil in the light fast range that I could use. Is it flesh pink, maybe? Yeah, that would be quite nice. So then using some fleshy kind of tones, some pinks on top of the base layers. Actually, I'm going to stick to using the light flesh, it's a little bit easier. Beige red, thank you. That just shows you how often I buy pencils. I bought so many pencils, like bulk bought loads of pencils. I just haven't had the need to buy any pencils since they've like changed colour names and things. Especially something like this colour, I only ever use as like an undertone, so I don't really use too much of it. I tend to use more of the darker pencils for the topmost layers, is what I use more of. They're the pencils that I go through quicker. Let's add where's the ear start? It kind of starts in the middle of that eye. See there. I've got about 5 light flesh. Yeah, well I've got loads of them, but they're all this size. I've just been using the different pencils until they get to that awkward kind of barely usable state where you kind of do have to use a pencil extender, but you can kind of try and wait it out. That was a lot of kind ofs. I know the base layers that I'm putting down are always really difficult to see, and the reason that they're difficult to see is because I'm using a really light hand, so I'm not pushing very hard. I always get a lot of comments saying people can never see the base layers, and that's because they are just really quite light. I'm going to add some of this though, this flesh pink from the Don't Light Fast, into this top half. Let's see how that goes. It could be a win. So this Spaniel is brown, like a nice chocolate, and then, is it called Rowan? R-O-A-N? When it's like flecked like this, I think so. And then the other Spaniel is brown and tan. So I'm looking forward to doing the other one because it'll be a really nice contrast between this one that I'm doing here. Right, then we want to put down maybe some burnt sienna. Some warmer tones. Right, there's a highlight here as well, which I want to make sure that I keep track of. Oh, maybe we'll put down some, ooh, maybe this colour. Some terracotta? Sure. That's a nice colour to add into brown. I'm going to make sure to add in some purple, some manganese violet. I really like to use when I'm working with brown fur like this. So this needs to be really dark. So I'm using some of these colours and just shading them down. And you should be able to see a very slight hint of these undertones when I've put the darker colour down. Start putting in some fur lines because we've got a highlight up here, so I need to make sure that I blend this eyebrow patch into that highlight. It's getting really warm in here now. Hopefully the background noise will be less now as well. Ooh. So I'm thinking of doing some regular-ish live streaming in the run up to Christmas. So we've got some extra content on the channel because I used to do a lot of live streaming and they used to be quite popular. So I want to make sure that I kind of do a little bit of that, and I do have these commissions to work on. I've got this commission and then I've got another double commission which needs doing by next week. So it may be quite a few evenings drawing. So I'll probably do every other day. So maybe not tomorrow, so I can have a little bit of a break and do some reading, so I don't like get a bit burnt out from doing too much. Especially tomorrow, I plan on doing like a full drawing day as well. Anyway, I don't really want to be working or drawing into the evening too much. So we'll probably do some more streaming Wednesday. And then next week I've got another commission that I need to work on and get out before Christmas, so we can hopefully stream that one as well. If not, then it will mean some lonely evenings drawing. I need some what's this colour? Sienna. You could work. When I'm working on commissions like this, I do tend to jump around a little bit, so I will be flitting from area to area. That's just how I like to work. It's how my brain likes to work when I am doing commissions, so it doesn't get too bored. Sometimes I find when I'm recording tutorials or doing tutorials, I feel like a little bit restricted because I have to kind of work on particular areas and stay with those areas. Whereas I like to just like, oh, I do a little bit here and then a little bit here and then see how it all comes together like that. But for tutorials, for ease of students and learning and everything, I don't tend to do it that way. So commissions are a really nice way to kind of break up having to do that or having to work that way around. It's also nice in the fact that I don't necessarily have to tape this down to the desk as well, so I can just kind of, if I'm not quite getting the right angle, I can spin it around, which is quite nice as well, which I don't like to do for tutorials because I feel like it would get annoying if I keep like moving things around on the screen. It's good to have you, David. It's very good to have you. For the new year, I do plan to change some of the live draw along sessions to an evening. I don't mind like committing an evening now that James is kind of able to sustain himself and play and not interrupt. He's quite happy to just, you know, watch his little Minecraft videos or play Minecraft, or, you know, just do something rather than needing to see what I'm up to all the time, which is nice. So in the new year, for patrons, because I do them during the day at the moment, but I will be moving them to the evening, and it'll just be the one kind of draw along session during the week, which I'm quite looking forward to, because I find sometimes when I schedule them for during the day, I'm restricted as to what I can do, and sometimes I have found lately that I've had like deliveries that have turned up at the same time, which I don't like, because then it just interrupts the flow of everything. Let's add, this was a really nice colour, this Mars orange. It was really pigmented as well, so you don't need to use too much pressure with this. This will make a nice undertone for this little bit where it's a little bit more orange. You can see a little bit more of the highlight through here. Hi. drawings are starting to look more realistic. Drawing animals. Crazy art and Crayola coloured pencils. They're not bad. If that's what you have to work with, that's not a bad way to go. I keep getting these Uber Eats notifications on my phone and they drive me insane. Absolutely drive me insane. Because it's like, oh, 25% off, and I'm like, oh, do I order food? The answer is no. Unless they're offering waffles, the answer is always no. What type of spaniel is it? It's a cocker spaniel. We need a little bit more of a lively base. Remember when he used to squeeze in a live stream when he was napping? I know. I had no idea how I used to do that. I really don't. I feel like I had more control over my schedule then than I do now. For some reason, now that he started school and my day is like really limited to I have to stop at 2:30 and then I don't get to work anymore. I just find that I just cannot stick to a nice schedule and I cannot seem to get everything done. I don't know why. Because he used to go to nursery until 6, 3 days a week. So I used to have like 3 long days. And I felt like that those days were like too long. At the end of the day I was like, oh, I'll go and pick up James a little bit early because I'm stuck for something to do. But now it's like, where's my time? Plan on rejoining Patreon. Oh yeah. After the busy holiday season and everything's done and then the new year started and it's kind of like you need something nice to do. I'm gonna have to just turn this a little bit more. I'm also just gonna add in a bit of the surrounding base layer so that I can blend this in a little bit. That'll be good. Hi from Morocco, hello. So speaking of the festive period and the channel, I know I haven't like posted very much consistently this year. So I wanted to, over Christmas, I was considering doing like Vlogmas or try the last couple of years I have said to myself that I was going to like create a drawing video for every single day in the run up to Christmas, so it's like an advent calendar but for drawing. And I have never got around to doing that. I won't get around to doing it this year because I've just got too much to do and not enough time. But I was thinking that I could release one of my longer form tutorials. So one of the tutorials that are available over on Patreon, that's a real-time one, and I could release it in like several small parts over a span of a week or something. Which I feel like could probably be helpful to some people, but I don't know which one yet. there's quite a lot to choose from. I want to do maybe one of the older ones that's been up for a little while that people maybe won't be too bothered about me sharing. Let's start adding in the fur line so we can get a bit of a stronger colour. Split it into 4 parts and release one a week. I could do, because I was going to release other tutorial videos as well, because I've got the koala that I can release now. I've also got another one, have I? Yes. I've got another one about doing a pan pastel background that I can release. So I've got a couple of other tutorials that I can actually schedule and load, and I'm getting back into the swing of the vlog. I'm gonna just have to totally turn this upside down. So I do have some other videos that I can release, which is great, but I just wanted to like bulk up the content a little bit more. What else is really annoying is that whenever I'm like ahead, something then happens that then makes me fall not ahead, not behind, but like, you know when you're ahead and you're like, yeah, I'm ahead, this is great, I've got all the time in the world and I don't have to rush things, and then something happens and then you're like back to being on schedule, which is fine, but I always like to try and be ahead. I don't know what, my mind is just like, we need to be ahead. Ahead is good, Amy. On schedule is not great, because on schedule means you're behind. That's how my brain works. But yeah, I was ahead of like social media posts and ahead of some other things, and then my child brought home norovirus. He wasn't very well, so obviously I was looking after him, and then through looking after him I ended up contracting it. So all last week I was meant to be working on this commission and then my other commission and getting them done and posted, and you know, then I can be like, yeah, Christmas. But no, I didn't get anything done last week, not a single sausage. We need some like Venetian red, that's what we need. Or, no, not Venetian red. Yeah, Venetian red. Oh, what's that? Oh, cherry red. No. Oh, Venetian red in the Derwent Lightfast. That's not really like the Venetian red from the Polychromos, but I'm gonna try it. You know what? I'm not mad at it. Just increasing the pressure to get the darkest areas in, and also to smush the paper out a little bit. So we need to get really dark around this ear and this side of this face here. Let's go right up to the ear. Hi Amy! Another Amy. You're watching from Idaho, USA. Blizzarding. Oh, blizzarding. That sounds fun. But also make sure you're nice and warm and safe. Unless you're going to go out and play in it. Do you play in blizzards? Probably not. some reason this pencil's really nice and creamy going down, so I'm just going to use this to fill in a little bit of the paper. If you was ahead of me, you might be concerned about who's done it. All this year I feel like I've just been playing like catch up of different things, or like just being just on schedule, which just isn't good for my brain. I need to be like ahead. Let's go. Just gonna turn it right on its side a sec so we can get a good angle going up. I think that's better. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a darker patch up here as well, but we'll take our time a little bit. Oh, there's so much pink going on. I'm going to use this sienna again, and I think I'll use that what's it called? The Venetian red. Let's just check that colour. Oh, it's so nice. Now I'm going to put down some of this sienna. Have I tried the light fast paper? Yes, I tried the light fast paper with my mushroom piece, and I didn't mind it. It was very different to how I was used to working on with this Fabriano. It was very... I tend to leave a little bit of the paper white showing, and don't tend to really flatten out my drawings, so it has like a little bit of that tooth and texture showing through of the paper. That's my personal preference. That's how I like to work. Like this here, I don't know if you can see how it's got like the paper texture showing. I won't flatten that out completely, I'll leave it like that. And with the Derwent Lightfast, I found it a little bit more difficult to take away a lot of that kind of paper effect. Is that the right word I'm going for? That paper texture, yeah, I found it a little bit difficult to take that paper texture away as much as I would like. It was just, I don't know, it was different. I didn't dislike it, but I didn't like, it wouldn't make me change from using Fabriano. If you're ahead. Okay, what am I forgetting that I should have already done? Yeah. That's how I feel sometimes as well. It's like, how am I ahead? What have I done, or what have I not done? There's a highlight here. Again, sorry about the spinning the paper around, but this is usually how I work, and I like to work at these different angles. I especially really like to work upside down, because especially when creating like curly ears and stuff, because it takes away the kind of element that you're working, like, oh, this is a curl in an ear, and it lets you focus on more of the shapes of the thing that you're drawing. So it takes away that kind of element of what it is a little bit. So we've got a little bit of a highlight. Let's put in a little bit of a highlight colour. Try and smooth that out a little bit. There are certain times when I do like to kind of smooth everything out and have not very much of that paper showing. put on very white parts like this eye that you can just see down the bottom here, I'll probably leave that as it is. I may flatten it out, it depends how the rest of the portrait goes as well. Most tutorials are taped down, you can't work that way. Yeah, I do find it difficult to work that way myself, but I tend to do it just because I don't want to be moving around all over the place. It just keeps it nice and straight as well, so if I need to edit footage as well, it's just a lot easier to do it when it's just taped down and I can just like snap the things together. Let's use some of this Venetian red at the top because we've got some really nice red tones. So there's a little bit of a highlight as well. So with my fur lines, what I'm trying to do is keep them a little bit like spaced apart, so I'm not grouping them together so that it forms a solid colour. I'm leaving gaps in between those fur lines. That will just help to create the illusion that you have the colour, but also that you've got that highlight as well. Spinning again. Let's use some Van Dyke brown. Maybe some burnt sienna. Do I work off a printed source or a digital photo? I usually work from a digital photo, so I've got Photoshop open at the moment with the photo in. I know a lot of people like to work from the printed, but when it comes to your reference photo, as long as you're kind of viewing it from the same device all the time, because across different devices the colours can change a little bit, so as long as you're kind of making sure that you're viewing it from the same source all the time. I know a lot of people say you shouldn't work from digital because it's not like accurate colours, but sometimes what if your printer is like running low on a certain colour and it prints a little bit funny. So yeah, I work from a digital source. I need to add, so that bit comes over up there, but this bit keeps going up. So we need to add, let's add some ivory. in case those of you that don't like to work from Patreon or from video, if you do want to work from a printed source, you can also purchase my book that has projects in it that help you to build fur, shiny surfaces, lots of different things. If you just search for Amie Howard Art on Amazon, you'll find it. I should really put a link in my YouTube descriptions for it. I haven't got around to adding that yet. This is like really bad PR on my behalf. So what if the colours are slightly different? You're an artist. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Amie. There's a link to my book if you want to buy it. If you have bought it, it'd be really good if you could go and give it a 5-star review. I'm really sorry if my head keeps getting in the way when I'm like going a bit close and blowing the image. Apparently I need to get ready for bed. My phone is like, it's bedtime. Definitely enjoying your book. Thank you. Yeah, it's nice to have, like, if you're not feeling like, if you've got no internet or something and you can't get online, or you just want a little bit of an offline day, or you're on the go and you want something to reference, it's nice to have that so that you can reference it. So yeah, it's nice to have that information in an offline format that is like super easy to access. Right, let's just see what's going on with this highlight. I think that should be fine. I might just darken this edge here so that highlights a little bit lighter. Give the illusion that it's lighter by just darkening its surroundings a little bit more. This needs to be a bit darker anyway. Also, I'm going to add some of this Venetian red into the other side so they match. And that gives the illusion that it's slightly lighter, which is nice. And then we're going to do an old switcheroo, excuse me, and work slightly backwards so we can darken. What's your secret to drawing realistic animals? Practice. I know people say, oh, practice, that's kind of like a boring answer, but I've been drawing animals with coloured pencil properly for 8 years. No, 9 years. I don't know. But I've been using coloured pencils for 10.5 years now, and I wasn't fantastic when I started. So it's just practice drawing different things so that you can harness new skills and ways to draw something as well is really important. So drawing things that you are a little bit scared of drawing. So for me, I was always terrified of drawing like bark, rocks, those kind of textures that kind of look a little bit boring to draw. And to me, I was always off put by them because I was like, because it looked so boring to draw, and then I wasn't confident in myself that I could accurately pull it off. But after some practice, you get used to doing that, and then by pushing yourself, by doing something that you're not really confident in drawing, it does help you develop your skills. So draw some things that you're not confident in drawing, push yourself to work on things that you wouldn't normally work on. Right, let's get some little fur lines coming off the edge here. Let's use some dark sepia. Hi Georgina, thank you. How are you doing? It's nice to see some old names, well not old names, but names that I used to see when I used to do regular lives and things, that you guys are still following the channel. It warms my little heart. Oh, I'm gonna bring this brown a little bit further down here. And it is a beautiful face that I'm working on. It's just a sweet little face. I need to add some more blue into this. That's what I need to do. Let's add some nightshade. Look at this one. It's like a really nice colour. Let's add some blue into the eyes. It's going to help to darken it up a little bit. I'm lacking blue. Oops. I did not want to add it there though. Or do I? Or do I? Maybe I do. I do. I'm going to leave it there. Oh, look, a happy little mistake. Let's add some blue into the other side. Just it's looking a little bit on the green side. And this is just going to help to darken things up. I'm going to add this into the brown as well. Help to darken. Oh, that's lovely. Okay. At the top of the head, I need to add in like little tiny bits of fur overlapping. Oh, that colour. Let's use Van Dyke Brown. Just like a little few hairs, a little bit of darker hair coming up the top, so that we can add in these curls, or what will become curls, in the ears. Add some pink. Or whatever. Is cinnamon? Cinnamon's still the same colour name, isn't it? That hasn't changed. I'm gonna add in this bit towards the middle. Thank you. I recently, because it was a lighter brown, after it being several different colours of the rainbow. I dyed it red at the beginning of the year, then brown, because then it was blonde, and I need to put red back in the blonde, otherwise it would go like a greeny colour. And then it was like this light brown, and then I dyed it a darker brown to match my more natural colour, and it come out quite black. But it's fine because this is actually closer to my natural colour, so you can't, it's got quite a bit of regrowth and you can't tell, so it was a good colour in the end. It was just very, very dark to begin with. It's lightened up a lot now, but I was like, what have I done? I also had it cut, and it's a lot shorter than what it was. Been a while. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm glad you're fine too. Right, we're following the fur direction. We're going to get this top bit added in, and then hopefully like down the muzzle as well. Let's add that in whilst we're here. Why not? We don't have too much toning to do through this centerpiece. I'm going to get a nice sharp nougat pencil, and then maybe just a few strokes of Van Dyke brown or walnut brown or something through the middle. I'm hoping that I can get somewhat all of this dog done tomorrow, or at least like the face and the ears. So I've got all day tomorrow to work on it. So I'm going to start work tomorrow at 8 in the morning, nice and early. I'm going to put some Christmas films on to get me through. And some nice long, like hour stints of drawing, then a little bit of rest. And then I say I have to kind of finish at like 2:30, because that's when I have to go and pick James up from school. So I do have like a deadline that I just have to like down tools, like we're done for the day. But yeah, then Wednesday I should hope to get this one done, and then this one I'm thinking is going to be a lot easier because it's more straightforward in terms of the colouring. The ears on this one are going to be a little bit more difficult because there's lots of flashes of white or that lighter colour, because it's that Rowan effect. So the ears are going to be more challenging on this one, whereas this one's got lots of tan and less complicated ears. But I'm hoping to have this done by the end of the week. Fingers crossed. Your wife has been asking you to do a colour drawing of a Cocker Spaniel. I did a graphite drawing for her years ago. This might get you motivated. Yes, let's draw all of the Spaniels together. I'm going to give this a quick sharpen. Oh gosh, it's got to be here. Oh my, no, let's wait. Thank you very much. It's got over a cold and it's left impetigo on your nose. Ugh, no, that's horrible. I'm guessing that's from where you've been agitating your skin on your nose a bit much from the cold. It's really sore, isn't it, that as well? So I don't envy you, but I hope it gets better soon. But at least your cold is gone. At least there's one like silver line. You've got no cold, but you just have a very sore nose. Let's sharpen this one as well. The cinnamon. Let's add some cinnamon into the top. There is a white, a very white, like flash, and it's right in the center, right at the top. So let's get a nice long pencil. Center of the nose, it's sort of here. It's quite small. It's shallower or less wide at the bottom than it is at the top. Cold sore's near your nose, but this one looked bigger. Oh man, that's not fun. Is that right? I think I need to come over further with this fur, you know? I think I do. Let's do that. Yeah, that's fine. That's better. That's a very weird sound from that track. Oh, that's not very helpful either then, is it? Let's go back to using some. Right, so this needs to come over at the top a little bit, does it? Or maybe this needs to come out a little bit more. I think that's fine. And then this, yeah, I need to bring this over just a smidge. So we do it like there. There we go. That's better. Got to make sure we get these important markings in the right place. Really important when you're working on someone's pet. Not so much if you're doing wildlife, because no one knows like a random fox. But someone will know if their fur baby doesn't have the patch in the right place. And then we've got like some long white fur that comes up there. Perfect. I'm happy with it anyway. I didn't know I was doing commissions again. Yes, I started them back in September. I offered some spaces for a limited time because there was quite a bit of drop off from people's cancelling Patreon and subscriptions because of the cost of living. So I thought, in an attempt to kind of like bolster the income so that I was kind of maintaining the level of income that I was at so that I could afford everything, you know, I decided to offer commissions again. And also I wanted to kind of break up the recording and like doing all of that process for tutorials. I was needing to do something that didn't require me to think very much. These require me to think, but like I don't have to worry about the composition like too much anyway. I just don't have to worry about it too much. Like I don't have to, it's just nice, simple, kind of relaxing work where I'm just drawing something that someone wants me to draw and I don't have to think about very much of the process. Not to say that commissions like don't require you to think or anything. You still have to do like think about pencil choices like I'm doing and finding like the nicest composition for the client and that type of thing, but just in terms of like not having to record and not feeling like too pressured to like do things a certain way. And also I found through just having to record stuff for like learning purposes, I just did find that I haven't really been pushing myself too much in terms of very much, like I haven't really tackled anything curly or anything like that because I'm like, oh, I don't have to do that because I'm just doing stuff for people to learn, so it's fine. So I just want to do some things that get me out of that comfort zone that I've kind of got used to, I suppose. I have been looking at my work personally and I haven't really seen much. I know we all go through like little things of not progressing too much and then progressing like really, really fast and stuff, but I just hadn't seen very much progression in my work. So I just wanted to like vary things up so that I could see a little bit more of that progression again. And I did used to really enjoy working on commissions and people's dogs and everything, but I didn't like it that it had to be like the sole thing that I was doing in order to earn money. So I like having the flexibility now where I can kind of be like, yeah, I'll take on a couple of commissions because I feel like doing some, or having a couple of those commissions like in the pocket. That's just like an easy earner, I suppose. Plus I do kind of miss interacting with like clients and doing that whole process and everything. I do enjoy like working with people and seeing their reactions and responses to something that I've drawn. That is nice. It's nice seeing that when I've like drawn a piece of wildlife or something, but it's just really nice when it, in particular, I'm going to draw this way, is someone's beloved fur child that you've brought to life. It's just a little bit of a different reaction. It's horrible how bills have gotten so expensive. Yeah, a lot of my business friends have said like they've obviously had to increase their prices to cover a lot of things, but then people aren't buying anything, not just because the prices have gone up of like individual small businesses, but just because they're not spending because they need to be able to feed their family over having a luxury item. Sorry, I keep like going off the... Out of the way! Gwen, hi! Oh my gosh! A lot of artists don't like commissions. I mean, I like commissions, but I didn't like doing commissions because it was all I did. It's nice that I've kind of like grown up a little bit and realised the fact that I can actually control what I want to do. I talked about it a little bit in my latest vlog, but I talked about I had the fear of growth, which is why I kind of like stopped taking subscriptions on my website and stuff, because I've got very much the fear of everything. So over the course of this year, I've just kind of been learning how to take control of everything and handle everything, and just generally be a lot healthier in my mind, and it's been really nice, because I've just kind of taken a lot of control back over certain areas of my life that have been like controlled for me, not by necessarily other people, but by some kind of weird concept that my mind has made up that I have to follow, if that makes sense. So it's been nice kind of relearning that I can do what I want to do. You need a variety of things, exactly. I think especially as a creative person as well, you do need to be, me personally, I do need to be like changing what I do. I find that I hyper focus a lot on things. It's like I find a new thing that I enjoy, like I was really into crocheting and stuff, and I was like, I need to do all of the crocheting and I need to do it now. I hyper focus on a lot of things, so I do find that I need to like change what I'm doing quite often, because I get bored quite a lot if I don't change it up. And the one thing that I don't want to get bored with is my art. I don't want to lose that, so it's important that I was like taking back a little bit of control in my life over certain things. Yes, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. Bye David, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully I'll be back streaming Wednesday, so hopefully I'll see you Wednesday. I'm keeping good. I'm really in a good place now. Right, I'm gonna get down to, I'll do this little bit of this side of the face here so it matches that side, and then we'll just do this little bit in the centre, and then I'll call it a day today, because it's 9:10 and I do want some downtime. So I'm gonna do, haven't read in a couple days, so I might go and read. How are the furry friends? The furry friends are fine. I could open the door and maybe one of them will come out. Fuji is getting along very, very well on his 3 legs, which I'm really pleased about. Oh my god, that's something I can mention in my vlog, isn't it? I haven't vlogged for ages, that I didn't like add any of the clips of Fuji. Oh, I need to do that. I need to inform everybody about my three-legged cat. I'm trying to put it. He's fine. He's off all of his medication now, which is really good. He was on a lot of pain relief, obviously. Being hit by a car isn't probably the nicest of things to have to go through, especially when you're that small. So he was on a lot of pain relief, and then he came off that, and he was freaking out a lot because he'd look at to see where his leg was, and it wasn't there, and then he'd just freak out, and it was the scariest thing because I just couldn't comfort him. Because obviously he doesn't understand. Like, I'm saying it's fine, like, you'll be fine, but he doesn't know that. So he was on neurological medication, and he was on that for 5 weeks. No, 6 weeks. And now he's absolutely fine. He is not even fazed by his leg not being there. And honestly, we did push forward and go for the pinning of his leg to try and save it so that he would have 4 legs, and that's what the vet wanted us to do, and that's what we did end up opting for. But honestly, I think it's the best possible outcome that surgery failed, because I don't think he would have liked to be crated for as long as he would, because he still would have probably been needed to be crated now, because it was a long recovery process if it was pinned to get a successful pinning and heal. So I'm so glad that he did have it amputated in the end, because he's not fazed by it in the slightest. And you know what? I love telling people that I've got a 3-legged cat. His wound is healed. It's absolutely fine. His fur is pretty much growing back. It's growing back on his legs. It's almost growing back on his neck. His back is taking a little bit longer, but no, his wound is absolutely fine. It's knitted together really, really nicely. Yes, we're still live. Hi. Oh, that's a nice contrast. Oh, I need to use a much darker pencil for up here. The other cats were a little bit, they shunned him for a little bit, because I think obviously they could sense that he was different now, and he did smell like the vets for a long time. So the other cats did kind of like shun him a little bit, and they did pick on him a little bit. But now he's back to his usual self. He's bullying all the other cats. All the other cats. That makes it sound like I've got an absolute horde of cats. Yeah, I did wonder the same if he'd have had like, he would have had a few ongoing complications eventually from it. But this way, now that it's been amputated, we don't have to worry about him getting like arthritis in it, and any of those complications. That has just like all been eliminated. Plus the healing and recovery process has just been a breeze. Try and keep these fur lines in their forehead area here a little bit longer. What's the usual size for commission? This size, it's a 10 by 12. It's not actually that big. I've got it really zoomed in because I've got my super duper lens on my camera and it actually focuses now. So 10 by 12 or 8 by 10 is like the usual kind of size. Do I have any base layer there? No. I wonder why the pencil's going down a little bit funny. There's no base layer. Or if there is, there's very little of a base layer. Yeah, sometimes it is better to whip it off. My mum gave me the advice of whipping it off, but I just wanted to give the cat like the best chance, and the vet wanted us to save it because obviously a cat with 4 legs is optimum. Optimum cat. Cats with 4 legs. But it wasn't to be. The vet did everything that he could. The vet was absolutely lovely. I love the vet. Like, did absolutely everything that he could to try and save us money, and yeah, couldn't fault the vet at all, but unfortunately the surgery didn't go as he wanted. Got all spicked tiny tails all fluffed up. Oh, I can just imagine. Let's get rid of those little bits. Come on. And you right there, what are you doing? Getting all bunched up. I went straight back in and did it again. There we go. That's better. Let's add some red. Let's add some burnt sienna. He is just over a year old. So, oh, I don't like what's going on here at all. Let's try that again, shall we? A little bit better. just can't get this bit right. I think I like it like that. Let's do the rest and come back to it. Let's add in some of this colour. A great hand broke a leg and then it pinned and plated. Pins and plate in the loft. That's kind of cute. Thank you. You're welcome. Ooh, that's cold. Right. Your normal size is regular size for pastel mat. You need to work on the scaling issues. Yeah. Yeah, I guess this does look fairly large. But it's actually not. It's not the largest. Especially not this pupper. Anyway. Right, I'm going to just do up to this bit and then I'm going to call it a day for tonight. Just because I don't want to overwork my eyes. And then we will come back Wednesday. I'll schedule a scream. We'll have a scream. Is that horrifying? You'll be screaming. With torches and pencils. Anyway, yeah. I'll schedule a stream for Wednesday evening. And we can have a little draw. So hopefully I would have finished this one by then. I really hope that I've finished this one by then. If I haven't, I'm doing something seriously wrong. And I would need to rethink my life choices. So maybe we could start on the other one Wednesday. We'll see. See how much I get done tomorrow during the day. I might even finish it tomorrow during the day. Wouldn't that be fun? This is all just very, very delicate through here. There's not much. It's not really showing. No, yeah, there we go. Maybe that's a little bit better. Just a little bit darker so you can see a few more of the marks, so they're not like really nice and bright as it was. That's probably a little bit more of an accurate colour is what I'm creating. Hopefully you can see that I've got like some kind of shine going through the top here. Hopefully we'll see how that pans out when I add in the ears and everything else. But everything's looking hunky-dory for the time being. Yeah, so this bit through like the nose and everything isn't too challenging. I'm really looking forward to doing the nose because it has very similar colours to the fur. The top of the nose here is like almost like it's encrusted with white. So the top of the nose is like really white and then the bottom is dark, kind of like what we've got going on in the fur. It's exactly the same colours that I'll be using for the nose that's going into the fur. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think that will probably be the thing that I do tomorrow morning is the nose, and get like the bulk of the face in. It's pretty much getting there now, which is nice to actually see some kind of form rather than just 2 eyes. But it's just very like, do a couple strokes on this light fur, have a little look, see what needs darkening. But that's where I'm going to call it a day for today then. So let me just unfocus this and then zoom out a little so you can see the kind of scale of them both. So they're both sort of like hand sized. This one's maybe slightly bigger because his ears pop out a little bit more. So yeah, I've got a bit of the collar and the bust to do down there. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm gonna do the nose and finish off the face tomorrow, and then hopefully I'm hoping to get the ears in, so we've got like all of this bit, and then I've just got this little bit of bust to do Wednesday morning, and then I can continue with the second one Wednesday afternoon, so then we can work on this one in the evening. Thank you. I can't wait to see it finish either. Like, it's been the longest, not the longest one on the go, but it has taken a little while for everything to come together for this one, just because illnesses and other things, and you know, just general life has been getting in the way. Yes, they're both Cocker Spaniels. Your mum-in-law has a blonde spaniel with such strong characters. Yes. I love them. They have so much energy, like bags of energy. Absolutely love it. I would love to have one, but I just wouldn't have the time to commit to it, so I'm like, nope. Nope. I'm actually really happy with how this one's turning out in comparison to the reference photo, now that I've like taken a little bit of a step back. Maybe I need to darken the top a little bit, but I'm pretty happy with how dark everything is looking around the eyes. So these are some of the darkest parts on the side by the ears here, so, and in the little eyebrow bit, so I've got the darkest parts in, so it's going to be a lot easier to judge all of the dark values in the ears now when I do those tomorrow. And for the ears, what I'll do is I'll add in all of the darker areas first, so plan out some of the curls and the darkest shadows in the curls and give them the form. I'm going to take it like little section at a time so I can get the form on each one as well, which takes a long time, but it's worth it. And then I will go through and add all of the base layers and then slowly build up to those darker colours and blend everything together. That's the plan, that's how it should go, but whether it goes that smoothly tomorrow will be a different matter. I will show them when they're finished, yes. I'll probably show them in a live stream. They'll probably be near finished Friday, so we'll stream Wednesday and Friday, so you get to see them near finished, but I'll also post them on Facebook and Instagram as well. Yeah, I don't think the cats would like it if I got a Spaniel. Jaffa might, because he was like best buds with Skip, and we went to the vets with him the other day, and there was a border collie that was in the vet waiting area, and Jaffa was looking at it like, Skip? It looked identical. It was uncanny. But yeah, that's what I have for you today. I hope you've enjoyed the past hour and a half with me, and I hope to see some of you or all of you on Wednesday. Tell your friends to come along. I will schedule the stream tomorrow, so there's a little bit more of like an advance notice, so that people can change their plans and spend some time in watching a girl draw on YouTube. But yeah, have a nice evening everyone, whatever you're up to. Just gonna get my live streaming panel up so I can end nicely. I'll see you guys on Wednesday.